Somehow, simultaneously, my brain knows when it's 6:16 and it wakes up, and it doesn't know how long 5 minutes are. Hello, and welcome to Somewhere on the Spectrum. If I could ask you to like and subscribe, obviously whenever you fancy in the video. YouTube is doing funny things with my subscriptions, so if you have subscribed in the past and you're not now, please double check. And also, I am trying now to upload the videos with different subtitles. If you have friends or you don't speak English as a native language, do check the subtitles. There's everything there from Arabic and Hindi to Japanese and Chinese to French and Spanish. So hopefully that will help. Anyway, today we are talking about the weirdness of body clocks and time blindness. So time blindness tends to be people that are neurodiverse that are affected by time blindness. Time blindness means that you struggle to understand how long it takes to fulfill tasks. Of course, everybody has the experience of an exam feeling like it takes 5 hours and a fun afternoon with your mates feeling like it took 5 minutes. Everybody has this experience. But this is kind of a next step challenge from that. So today I want to talk a little bit about time blindness and also about the weirdness of body clocks, because that is kind of freaking me out. The body clock thing. Like, how is it that I'm time blind, but my body knows what time it is? My brain doesn't, but my body does. That's weird, right? That's weird. I don't use an alarm anymore because we are not happy with alarms. If I set an alarm now, my brain knows I've set the alarm and it won't go to sleep because it doesn't want to hear the sound of the alarm. It doesn't want to be woken with the sound of the alarm. I'm not kidding. That's actually what's happening. So I don't set alarms now. If I have to get up early, and sometimes I will struggle to go to sleep if I have to get up early, but if I have to get up early, I will literally tell my brain what time I need to get up. And I kid you not, it usually wakes up at the right time. And also, I will go through phases where I will wake up at exactly the same time every day. So last week it was 6:16 exactly. So for a week, and sometimes it will go for weeks and weeks, I would wake up at 6:16 on the dot every day. I didn't need to be up at 6 o'clock. I was very annoyed about it. I really wished I could stay in bed later. But as you learned last week, I have perimenopause, so my sleep is all over the place. What is happening with that? I don't have an answer for this. This is just a question to the world. Is anyone else dealing with weird body clocks? Like, does your body know what time it is? Do you set alarms? I teach online and my schedule usually starts at 10. This year, I decided to start it in the summer at 10:30. For most of my students, that works a little bit better. So I have very free mornings. It's amazing how long it can take you to get up if you have all the time in the world. It's problematic, actually. And so it means that I don't need to set an alarm. I don't need to get up at a particular time. And yet here we are waking up at 6:16 in the morning. Joys. So let me know, do you set alarms? Does your brain like alarms? I use them through the day, obviously, to make sure that I go to meetings and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm just really curious. What, do you have a body clock? Does it work? Does your body clock work, but your brain clock not work? Drop it in the comments. I'm really curious. So with the time blindness thing, which is somehow different to the body clock. Don't ask me. I don't know. Somehow, simultaneously, my brain knows when it's 6:16 and it wakes up, and it doesn't know how long 5 minutes are at all. No idea. So I have to have timers for everything, obviously. And I have to remember that I've set a timer, and there's a reason why I've set a timer, so that I don't turn it off and forget that I ever set it in the first place. I'm trying to eat more protein at the moment, which requires boiling hard-boiled eggs. It's not that I enjoy eating them, it's that I'm trying to mainline protein because I've got perimenopause. And I set the timer to boil my eggs. It's happened more than once. The timer goes off. I'm in the middle of something. I'm like, that's an annoying sound. Turn off the timer. And then later I'm like, wow, those eggs have been boiling for a while. I wonder why the timer hasn't gone off. Some of my eggs have been very hard boiled. So timers, varying levels of success. So the first time I realized that I had an issue with time blindness, part of this, of course, has to coincide with you knowing that you're autistic and having done sufficient research to be able to know some of the traits and the names for the traits so you can start to identify them. I hate cleaning the bathroom. I've had to clean the bathroom my whole life. It was one of my chores as a kid. So as an 8-year-old, I was cleaning the bathroom. I'm not happy with the fact that as a 43-year-old, I'm still cleaning the bathroom. But in my head, it took 2 hours to clean the bathroom. 2 hours. My bathroom is very small, but in my head, it took 2 hours to clean the bathroom. Then I was going through this period where someone had suggested, I can't even remember who it was now, it was a YouTube channel, had suggested timing stuff that you do so you know how long things take. So I timed myself. It takes me 20 minutes to clean the bathroom. 20, not 2 hours, 20 minutes to clean the bathroom. This was a relief. It actually made it easier for me to clean the bathroom because instead of me thinking, oh my God, it's going to take me 2 hours to clean the bathroom, I can't be bothered, I hate it, it takes so long, which would actively prevent me from being able to clean it. Instead of that, I knew it was only 20 minutes. So I can say to myself now, it only takes 20 minutes. Come on, let's get to it. Put the music on loud. Let's get the gloves on and away we go. So I am more able to do the crappy job because I understand how long it takes to do the crappy job. And I understand that it's not as long as it feels like it is. And somehow that's made it feel like it's a shorter time. Don't ask me, I don't know what's happening. Definitely, if you have jobs that you don't like, time yourself so that you know for sure how long they're going to take. This gives you 2 things. Not just now you can actually do them because you have the motivation because you know it's not going to take you hours to do it. But also when you have those times when you're in the waiting time because you've got an appointment at 3 o'clock, you can do your jobs at that point because you know that's only going to take me 20 minutes. I have 4 hours until 3 o'clock. I can definitely fit in a 20-minute job. Whereas before, you would probably think, I have 3 hours, I can't do anything because I might still be doing it by the time I get to 3 hours. That's not going to mean that you don't have waiting time. So waiting time. Waiting time is when you have an important appointment to get to and you can't do anything else until that appointment for the rest of the day. This comes from a few different places. One of them is time blindness because we are worried. We know that we might miss the appointment because we might get involved in something, get hyper-focused on something, get distracted by something. So we're afraid that we might miss it from that perspective. It's also about anxiety, about social expectations and being late. We have a tendency to be late, especially if you're ADHD. So we also have a concern about that, which will mean that we don't want to miss the appointment. And also we're worried about, can we refocus? For a lot of us, it takes time to shift from one task to another. So if you focus on one task, you might get distracted entirely and disappear into that task. But also, are you going to be able to take your focus from that and move it onto your appointment at the appropriate time? So actually, there's quite a few logical reasons why you might find that even if your appointment isn't till 3 in the afternoon, you are sitting on the sofa at 10 o'clock waiting because you don't want to miss your appointment. The problem is, how patient are you? Because it's very likely that before long, you're going to run out of patience and go and start doing something. And then you're going to be late and get distracted. So the thing with waiting time is to know that it's probably going to happen, to get better at noticing and identifying that it is happening, and to be able to put some systems in place so that you don't have to experience as much of it. So that might be jobs that you know you can do in 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, and you stack those up to the point that's like an hour before your appointment. So you know that you have enough time definitely to do those tasks and they're completable tasks. I'm not talking about something you're going to get hyper-focused on. I'm talking about something like cleaning the bathroom that you're going to do the task, finish the task, not get distracted because you don't want to be doing it anyway, right? If you can stack those tasks first, then you are going to be able to use your time effectively and give yourself some time to prepare to shift tasks for the next one. So that's one thing that can be helpful. Certainly, you need to make use of the smart stuff that you have. You need to set calendar appointments so that you know it's coming up. You need to set alarms, multiple alarms, so that you're prepared If you're going to have to leave the house, you need to give yourself advance warning for leaving the house. You need to give yourself a 5-minute check. You need to have figured out where you're going, how long it's going to take you, all that kind of stuff. Definitely do your best to prepare the ground to help yourself so that you don't get distracted and end up missing your appointment anyway. Sometimes it's going to happen. There are ways to cope. So waiting time is definitely related to time blindness. Time blindness also comes in with our hyperfocus, because when we're hyperfocused, we're even less aware of the time. So when we're hyperfocused, the time passes really, really quickly. This comes with the additional bonus if you are not good introspectively. So you have challenges of knowing when you're hungry, when you're thirsty, when you need to go to the bathroom, when you're cold, when you're too hot. Time blindness is not your friend in these situations, because you get into your hyperfocus and you don't realize how much time has passed. And suddenly you really, really, really need to go to the loo. Or your blood sugar has dropped so far that you can't do anything. That's actually one of the reasons why I started doing the hard-boiled eggs, because I would get to the point where my blood sugar was plummeting. So if I have a hard-boiled egg, it can cut that off. And it just gives me enough of a boost that I can then go and prepare a meal. So having something like that, it's less helpful to have chocolate. We all like chocolate, right? But it's just going to send you into a blood sugar spike. I have seaweed these days. I did live in Korea for a long time though, so seaweed is less shocking to me. Seaweed is really helpful for me, but also the eggs, things like that, that are just giving you a bit of a more gentle spike rather than the is really helpful. If you struggle with time blindness, let me know in the comments. Do you have any tips? Do you have any solutions? What are you doing to manage your time blindness? What kind of stuff is affected with your time blindness, really? For me, it affects so many different areas of my life, and it can be really helpful and it can be really, really problematic. It's less problematic now that I'm not working full time, because I don't have all of those extra expectations on my time, but it's not fun. It's not fun. It's kind of annoying. So let me know in the comments, and like and subscribe if you like this video and you found it helpful, and feel free to share it with your friends if you think they'll find it helpful, and I will see you next time. Bye.